Welcome. Here's a triangle. I'd like to be able to find the area of it. To do that, I need a formula. And the formula that we're going to be using is that the area equals the base times the height divided by 2. You can also write that as base times height and then divide by 2. Or you can use 1/2 times base times height. Those are two equivalent ways to find the area of a triangle. But we need to know what we mean by base and height. The base must be one of the three sides. You always have choices. Some choices might be better than others, depending on the situation. The height must be perpendicular to the base. It is usually not one of the three sides, and it can be inside or outside the shape. For example, on the shape I have right here, what I might do is draw a line like this. What I'm trying to do is draw a line perpendicular, so notice that I've got the little square right there, to this base. In this example, my base is right here. My height is the green line. Please notice that the height goes from the base, perpendicular, to the other part of the triangle, the other vertex, we might say. Let's do some examples. I have here a triangle on a grid, and I have this tool that I can move around to try and figure out what the height and base should be. I could use this as the base, but I'm not sure that height is going to be easy to find. Let's move this tool around some more. This is starting to look good because right now I could use the right-hand side as the base and this length right here as the height. I think I can find both of those. Let's move my tool out of the way and start measuring. Here is where my base is going to be. Counting each side, I get that my base is equal to 6. I'm going to draw the line for the height. I'm going to put that square in there to remind me that I need to be perpendicular. And again, counting sides, I get a height equal to 4. It is time for the calculation. I'm going to use 1/2 times base times height. 1/2 times 6 times 4. If I carry out this calculation, 1/2 of 6 is 3, 3 times 4 is 12, and I'm done. Let's try doing that now with some examples that do not use a grid. For the example here on the left, it seems pretty straightforward. I have this nice flat surface here. I'd like to make sure that I find something perpendicular to the base. I think this placement right here will do great. Let me shrink my tool down and let's write down what we found. The base is equal to 12 inches. I will use the abbreviation. Notice that my height is over here. My height is equal to 4 inches. It is still perpendicular to the base, but it is outside the figure. Now I want to find area equals 1/2 times 12, and for right now I'm not going to write down the units. We'll put that in at the end, times the height, which is 4. 1/2 of 12 is 6, so that is 6 times 4. That is 24, and this is area, so this must be measured in square inches. Please note, there were some things I never focused on. I was never concerned about that number right there or that number right there. I did not need them. I needed two numbers. I needed a base right here. I needed a height right there. In this case, the height was outside the shape. Let's try that again with our last figure. So notice that I have the dotted line in there. Sometimes it's really tempting when I see a line segment that goes straight left and right. That's often a good one to use, but I don't have a nice H to work with that. So let's see if we can move around. Yep, it looks like I'm going to have to use that right there. Okay. Writing down what we need. Our base is 5.8 meters. Our height right here is 3.1 meters. Our area is 1/2 times 5.8 times 3.1. And I'm going to figure out what that is on a calculator. I got 8.99 square, remember we are measuring area, meters. Notice in each case I needed a base and a height perpendicular to it. A base and a height perpendicular to it. Every time you are doing a triangle area problem, please keep that in mind.